non ti proprio dai pensieri. What is up, everybody?
Yo!
We are back.
Finally!
We are back, guys.
Finally with the Pigeon Perspective podcast.
How
back and
you
running.
all doing?
2019, buddy boys!
It's taken us 20 days of 2019 and the whole of November and December to come back to your Pretty Little Faces podcast wise, but we are back. We are back with a bang. We got so much to tell you, so many exciting things going on. Game Blast next month, like this time next month.
You can see that they do pop up above. But what we do have as well is we have Mr. Aussietron straight up in the top corner, who's joining us for the podcast today. We have Ben from Geek Lab Gaming also joining us for the podcast and everything today. And we have Tom, who hasn't got a camera yet, but he's got the logo. He's got the logo.
And he's nomming.
And the biggest news that we have, other than Game Blast, is the fact that Ben from Geek Labs and Tomanoms, they are now part of the Pigeon Vision family.
We have more pigeons!
We have a flock!
We have a flock!
Holy crap! Yes!
Yeah, buddy!
First one of the podcast.
Yeah,
love
first one of the year. Had
compilation
to get out of the way.
tick.
Yeah, montage
Cool.
Monday. That is tomorrow. No, I'm joking.
So we're gonna hand it over to Ozzy, Ben, and Tom just to be able to be like,
driver.
what's a tame racing driver? Some may know him as. I couldn't think of anything. I went completely blank. But yeah, all good times. So I will let Ben and Ozzy and Tom say a little how-do before we crack on with the news of 2019 and what we're going through and everything today. Hello. Cool.
Evening,
So Ozzy's been here for a little while, and basically how the podcast is going to work now is me and Jordan's going to host. We're going to fire out the news and bits and pieces to all of these pretty guys that's here,
To you,
and then
and you, and you.
and all of you guys as well. So, make sure you're nice and active in the chat, chatting to us, getting to tell us what your game news is and other bits and pieces and everything, man. Come along and tell us whatever you need to tell us. Hopefully it's something to do with the news of what we're doing anyway. But yeah, and all of these guys are basically like pundits. They're the ones in the know. We just say what news we're going to talk about and what we think, and these guys are just going to be like, we know all this stuff.
Yeah.
This is our opinion. This is how we go about it.
When we get into doing our Mind Over Mystery podcast, which we have been talking about since day one, when this comes around and we have like this sort of format, it's going to be brilliant. You're going to have me and Martin firing all sorts of theories and queries at each other, and then you're going to get Tom, Ben and Ozzy just going, I think this is right, I think this is wrong, so and so, until we end up with like a, not an answer, but like an ending, and then we throw the question to you guys, of which you give your opinions. So that's what I'm buzzing for this year, is us creating that.
Yeah, definitely.
Us creating our Mind Over Mystery child.
Definitely. So, how do you guys want to do it? Are you happy for us to move on with like one piece of news, or is there any news that you guys want to be able to throw out straight away and you're like, let's have a quick chat about this?
Quick discussion.
Well, first of all, just want to say thank you for actually having us on with you.
Oh yeah.
As stated, we're new to the gang. Myself and Mr. Thomas, where he is.
He's below you.
And Ozzy up in the top corner with his pervert pink purpley light on. Just it genuinely is a pleasure to
Change his lighting.
Nice, yeah.
He's in the red light district. Oh no.
BB purple.
Yeah, let's just get after it. As stated, we're new to the gang, but we are here and willing and ready, and it's all about pushing the channel and the product and the name of Pigeon Vision in the direction that deserves to go. So I'm pumped to get after it so that we can make something big and beautiful happen.
Big. Cool. Right. So first piece of news that I think that a lot of us have seen over the last couple of weeks. And it's a big piece of news that I want to be able to talk about as well. Just because I'm a lover of Activision and a lover of Bungie. And with basically Bungie pulling out of their agreed deal from Activision, which there was a 10-year marketing product for Activision,
sort of like a 10-year contract, wasn't it?
And they've pulled out after 8 years. So it's going to be very interesting what direction they are now going to take, because it seems that Activision's big games are starting to dwindle down.
Yes, and Bungie's starting to come through.
Well, they're starting to dwindle down to just Call of Duty.
Yeah.
They're scrapping Guitar. Well, they've scrapped Guitar Hero services and everything else as well, which is crazy. It's crazy.
Completely shocking.
Hey Dan, how you doing? Nice to see you back, bro.
It's Guitar Hero is how I learned not to play guitar, and it's one of the best games ever.
Yeah,
it's one of my favourites. I'm terrible at it, but that's why I enjoy it. It's because I know I'm shocking.
Yeah. So what do you guys? So putting it out to you, what do you guys think of the split between Bungie and Activision? Is it better for Bungie to be able to split because they're the ones who initiated the split? Is it better for them to have come away from Activision to be able to better their brand, or is it a mistake? Basically, is the question here.
Who's the winner out of it in the long run?
I think they've done a good thing with splitting with it, because at the end of the day, Activision are more about the whole how much money are we going to make out of everything, whereas Bungie are like, we want to make a good game. We want to listen to our community. So it's kind of like, I think they've done a good thing.
Yeah, well, Dan said on Twitch that he thinks Destiny might be good again. I kind of agree. I think that Activision had a good, solid foundation with what they was doing to start with, and I know that Activision put in a big spoon in the gumbo pot of going, do this, do this, do this.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably taken its toll on the game of they need to get out. But yeah.
So go back to one of the comments that you made earlier on. So with Activision pulling out, or Bungie pulling out, sorry, and Activision basically standing on their own 2 feet with regards to like Call of Duty and stuff, they found a product that works, and that's what they're going with. They're working with a product that they know that sells, they know that brings revenue. Obviously, they changed it up when they brought out Black Ops 4 with the Battle Royale feature and so on and so forth. However, at the same point in time, Activision have made some horrific decisions. Microtransactions destroying games.
Gotcha.
At the same point in time, microtransactions were becoming prevalent with regards to gear in Destiny, just the perks, not the perks, sorry, the skins and all the cosmetic side of it. And that's where they were starting to get money. And it's Bungie going the right way. I think the split has come at the right time because of what's coming out.
Yeah,
I agree.
100%. And that's something that I'm excited for.
And they've just been so successful with Destiny.
Yeah, I mean,
things like that.
Yeah,
I think the big gumbo spoon that was put into there, like Ben's touched upon, is skins in the first one. Activision didn't necessarily put their 2 pence worth in and go microtransactions in this game. They went here, carry on with your game. Yeah. We'll publish you, we'll help you, and we'll see how it goes.
We'll nurture you.
And they've basically done it, and they went, oh, we could make a bit of money off of this. You've got expansions coming out. Yeah. Let's put a full price on these expansions. Yeah. Whereas now you see that
let's get people to buy a whole nother fucking game within the game.
Forgive me if I'm wrong, they were Battlefront, Star Wars, weren't they?
What, Bungie?
Activision.
No, EA.
No,
EA. Yeah, and
I mean, like
at EA Vision.
At EA Vision.
I mean, I think a lot of it is like, I remember reading that the newest DLC that they came out with for Destiny, the Forsaken one, had very, very little to do with Activision itself. Bungie literally took the reins on that completely and told Activision to go do one, and it actually paid off for them. They had a massive return of people.
It was a much better DLC than what was the other one.
The biggest problem is that, like you said, you're essentially buying another game in the game, just to play the game.
The first point that I think Activision intervened and said, yes, let's do this, was when they had, was it Fallen King? Fallen King was when they went, okay, rebuy everything, you get this whole new expansion pack, which is the same size as the game, blah, 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 blah. And there was so much stuff that you had to rebuy once you're in the game.
Yeah.
And now they brought out Destiny 2, really good. But yes, like the skins, the silver coins, it just, for me, I played it, I loved it, and then I came away from it. And then when the new expansion came out, big thing, with the Forsaken, that's when I kind of went, let's have a look. Yeah,
didn't we? And
what do you think, Ozzy?
I don't really know enough about the companies to have much input. Obviously, in terms of like Activision and Bungie separately, like I was a big Halo fan, and then obviously sort of like Destiny is very Halo-esque. You can see it is made by Bungie, just because the games they're so similar but so different. I personally don't see what Activision's involvement is in the game process. Like,
they're the cash cow.
It is, but it's Bungie. Like Halo was Bungie. Like Destiny is Bungie. What is Activision doing? I don't know what exactly they help with. A little research would help.
It's the big name, I think. Having that big name behind you is a massive thing.
It's just a publication, but then they have that input where they went, all right, okay, you pay us X amount. Why don't you do this to be able to add this in the game or that in the game? All game. Basically, it's like take an indie band and go, we want you to do this, which is more mainstream stuff. And they go, yeah, all right, we'll change our swearing heavier lyrics for more poppy kind of lyrics and everything else. That's
sunshine and rainbows.
That's kind of the way that they tried pushing Destiny when it came to, Take a King, and when Destiny 2 first came out. It was trying to be very, very good for everyone.
Yeah, very
instead of going, well, this is what we do. And Forsaken has gone, this is us. Take a big Audi do.
We're ballsy and we fucking like it. And then, Activision sort of come along and go, less of that, please. We've got an audience here. And the less of that, the more we can, get people involved, and the more money we can take.
Yeah, like
money makes the world go round.
You just said to Dan, Ben, Forsaken was amazing. Then Activision got involved with Black Armor, and it was crap, and which is completely true.
We ran. So Thomas and I ran. We're massive Destiny 2 fans, and we literally got the expansion the day it released, and we completed it in 2 hours, Thomas?
Oh, that was the... so, of course, when they did the first 3 expansions, I think it was, they only ended up adding like half an hour's gameplay onto it.
Yeah, we desecrated it, and that's the problem. Absolutely because you go... It gets massive feel bads. The feel bads are unreal. You go out and pay another...
What you just said was completely correct. £30 for a season pass, and you add DLC that lasts 5 minutes.
Yeah.
100% correct.
£30. That's a game. It goes back to that Activision, prime example...
Battlefront
or COD, brilliant. Yeah, got it, fantastic. But guess what? You want to play the extra zombie maps? You want to get the extra maps here? There you go. Buy the DLC. But just to let you know that in 3 months' time we're going to release another DLC, and you're going to have to buy that one as well.
But
so,
then,
I'm just going to buy my money tree and start pulling money off it. You know what I'm saying?
There's another one of where I got roped into. I think it was maybe the first or second Black Ops. I bought the first DLC pack, and then I went and bought the second DLC pack, and the third DLC pack, I could have got the first and second one included. With my third DLC pack.
I got it for £9, I think.
For like a tenner.
Hi, Alex on YouTube as well. Make sure you're commenting on what we're talking about and things, then we can at least pick up your comments and things. Sorry.
It was one of those things like, I've just wasted probably an extra 20 quid, 30 quid for something that I could have, got all 3 for and saved a tenner.
That's usually
just by waiting.
The thing is, I've seen that Dan's just made a comment of people trying to defend it with it's hard and will last, and those people can do raids massively under level and can easily do it. Do you think that Bungie have kind of pulled away from it and going, actually, it's not about equality and having a level 5 and a level 20 being able to be put in the same matches, and you overpower or underpower one or the other to be able to make it even. Do you think Bungie are going to move to a way of going, if you put the time in and you put the levels in, because it's not pay to win, it's putting that time and effort into it, that you would get something back out of it by playing other people that are kind of the same level, kind of the same area as what you are, and then it's based upon more skill, in the future or from this point onwards, instead of pairing you up with lower levels and, basically doing raids which you have no business being able to do at that kind of point.
I think there should always be like an area level that you should be able to work with people in, like 5 levels either side of the highest point. Because if you think you get like a level, the prime example was Borderlands 2. When me and Ben used to play it all the time, I used to have a level 60 character. He'd start with a new character, and within 2-3 hours, he could be up at the same level as me.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make any sense, really, does it?
Not at all, especially if you've grafted to get to that level.
As Halsey said in the chat, it is a skill-based matchmaking is way better than random matchmaking.
So do you think that now Bungie have control of their own destiny, that they would go that way with going, let's now redo our algorithms and go, it is more skill-based, and we'll have skill-based characters versus each other instead of randomizing and going, this level 20 versus this level 50, we'll bring that person up and we'll overpower their guns a little bit to be able to help them out in this game?
With all due respect, no. And as bluntly as that is, they are not going to be dedicating as much time as that would take. They're going to be concentrating on their next game. Halo was their flagship game for such a long time. Then Destiny became it, and depending on how it drops, I could see Anthem just skyrocketing. From what they put into the alpha, it just, for me, I just don't think they'll waste their time and just keep on going. Destiny will either get a sudden resurgence of players, or it will just die.
Cool. Right. I want to be able to come back and touch upon all of this shortly, because I think that this is a good conversation to lead into Anthem, because Anthem for me is going to be the next game, personally, that rivals Destiny.
Yeah.
I'm just reading Dan's comments. Iron Banner in Destiny was pretty good, but
I didn't mind Iron Banner, to be fair.
Yeah. So basically, I want to touch on a couple of other little news articles and things as well. So if we go around the coop, anybody who's got any bits of news that they want to be able to share that they've seen over this kind of time and everything as well, we can do like a quick going around the coop with different bits and pieces, and then other people can get involved with on the chats and things like that, and then we can move on to another main topic kind of thing.
Sure.
Who wants to start?
Anybody can jump in. I'm just having a little look because there was a couple of things that I seen this
week. We were in
week.
game today, at game. So a bit of a plug for them. If you're a Switch fan, if you're a
Nintendo
Xbox,
really fan.
Yeah, Nintendo fan, an Xbox fan, they've got some mega deals on at the moment. So a lot of their games are half price, if not cheaper. They have got lots of Christmas stuff still kicking out there. I went and bought the Starlink. I can't remember. What is it, Thomas? Starlink?
Starlink Battle for Atlas.
Yeah, I got it for £14 and it should have been £70.
Wow,
You know what I mean? So that kind
That
of...
was a good save.
Yeah, man, it's all good. But they're not bad at all.
It's a game that includes air quotes microtransactions, which are more like the what is it, like the Disney Infinity and stuff like that, where you have to
Yeah.
buy physical
Skylanders.
items, have it. That's what Skylanders to actually have it in game.
Right,
I'm a big sucker for this already because I bought the game and I've already gone out and bought 2 weapon packs. So... yeah.
Oh, that's nice news.
What's that?
Crossplay for Rocket League is now live.
Yeah.
I suck at Rocket League, so people on the consoles are already going to kick my ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen this the other day as well that it was going to be cross-play and everything on Rocket
There are
League.
only- there are only 2
Is this on
games,
Switch
actually.
because I got okay? So if you need help, wait, is this what you was on about, Ben? Tom, sorry. Someone commented on YouTube saying, "Is this on the Switch?" Because
Yes.
I got
Starlink.
okay. So if you need help, yeah. Did anyone see there was plans for Epic Games to share their dev kit for cross-platforms from Dan on Twitch?
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know.
I know that.
Damn,
I know
Daniel.
that Epic. I know that they're trying to like take Steam off their top spot. Epic
Yeah.
are really trying to like hammer home the fact that they're getting exclusive games being released on there. I think Division is being released on Epic.
Division.
I think
I
that's
like
what
it.
happened, Division
I like
2.
it.
and-
Division 2.
Yeah, the Division 2. I think it's being released on Epic now. I can't remember, but I think it's that one.
Interesting.
I'm not sure. That's something I would need to have a little
Find out, yeah.
look into. But
There is something-
yeah, the bit of news that I want to be able to pick out is: has anybody seen, as I've been playing Red Dead Redemption, has anybody seen that they are doing a Fortnite style battle royal online for their servers and stuff now as well?
No.
So you think of running around as a cowboy,
Oh my god, that'll be insane.
chasing people down on horseback and things like that. I'm not sure how it is going to be. I've had got the article and everything up here, which is the Gun Rush, which came out last Friday.
Yes.
Yes, because I played it not this week, the week before, and it came out
Should
on the
say.
Friday.
I'm really
Yeah.
hoping that if they're bringing a battle royale to this, you turn up on a train and you have to jump off the train.
Nice.
That's what I'm hoping.
No, I
That just
reckon-
reminds me of Westworld.
No.
But
So
yeah.
obviously, other news that is bits and pieces of the Black Ops freeze trial.
Mhm.
That was out. That's
Yeah.
a good one.
that came out
we,
on the 17th.
yeah.
That's going on for it's an entire week, isn't it?
Yeah,
the 24th.
Yeah.
24th.
24th.
We should
4
really
more
get on that at
days.
some point.
We tried to get on it, but Martin decided to break his computer.
Oh, good job.
Yeah, mine died on the Friday, which was lovely. Dan's coming saying after Fortnite did crossplay, it did really well.
It did.
And it went up massively in sales and things as well, which is something we're going to touch
that's a
upon because there was a
talking point
big
later.
big talking point of that. Too many games are trying to do battle royale.
Correct.
Do you think that there are too many games out there trying to do a battle royale style, even though battle royale is literally just a label for online gaming where you could do solos years ago, you could do team deathmatch, things like that. I don't think that Fortnite is much different to Unreal Tournament in the sense of the bare bones. But the only difference is the grand gesture of how big everything is, and it forces you to go to a smaller section over time. Other than that, it is basically Unreal Tournament.
Yeah.
And it's been around for years and years and years. It's just the fact that they've changed it from you have a small little map like Nuketown, and you fight in that one map, but you respawn. And it's just this, you don't respawn.
Yeah.
Which makes
It's
it
been done
kind
for
of
years.
it kind of makes it realistic, but in the same sense, for me, if you shoot someone, they should be dead, no
Yeah.
matter what anyway.
Yeah.
Well, depending on where you shoot them, really. But if you're firing 3 or 4 rounds into a person that's 30, 40 yards away, and then they turn around, jumping around all over the place, that's the only thing I don't like about shooting games.
What annoys me with people that mention Battle Royale is they go, oh yeah, COD's doing it. Oh yeah, Red Dead's doing it. Oh yeah, Battlefield and Fortnite are doing it. They don't go back like 3 or 4 years ago where H1Z1 was like the originator of it all, and then PUBG sort of followed it on. And then everyone goes, oh yeah, but Fortnite carries it. Yeah, Fortnite carries it because of microtransactions and
no, with all
children.
due respect, it's all to do with. It's not to do with the microtransactions. Microtractors. Talking about Farm Simulator. It's the player base. It's the key figures that they've got for it. So
it's a cartoon
Ninja,
game that appeals to the kids.
Shroud when he went across. Shroud then jumped across to PUBG. And he was on PUBG, and he was making like hundreds of thousands of pounds on that game. He then jumped across to COD, and if you watch every time someone jumps between these different games, you will get that huge spike in sales or that huge spike in views.
Yeah,
and companies are using social media and people's love of actual game players to their best advantage. I don't necessarily think it's the micros.
However, I think Halsey hit it dead on the head. It's a free game.
Yep.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's a free game. It's going to be horrendously popular because you haven't had to buy it.
For me, I think it's a mixture of the both. I agree with Ben and I agree with Dan.
Yeah.
It is very much, if it's free, anybody can get it. Yeah. I agree with you, Tom, with the fact that if it's got that kind of appeal, the age rating is carried so much lower, so it doesn't matter if a 12-year-old's playing the game. Anybody can kind of do it. And then I agree with Ben at the fact that there are so many influencers in the world. And an influencer like Ninja, like all these people on Instagram and everything else, it is the next biggest craze. And if it is a craze, the kids pick it up. They want to go with it. It's popular for them, so everybody else wants to go with it. And it is an influencer that does these things which influences us to be able to go, this is the most popular thing. And so it is a mixture of all three. And I think Epic has hit it nail on the head. And other games like Red Dead trying to do it, I don't think it's something that they should be doing. They should focus on what they're good at.
I can't see how it works with Red Dead. Like, how do you start?
I think you can see battle royales with any game. You can personally.
You can start
whether it works or not.
Red Dead on horseback, because everyone flying in on horseback would just be a bit sort of.
Then they'd be on unicorns, not horses.
I don't think it would be
Pegasus is.
You can't skydive. You can't get like.
You could skydive, but in those days you'd be dead.
Yeah, exactly. You can't get like 80 different trains to different locations because. Well, again,
it could be anything. If it's done that way, it might even be done with like prisoners. You might go in as a prisoner. And
another game that people forgot about for Battle Royale is that Fear the Wolves, or the Wolves that we were.
PlayStation exclusive.
So many. I mean, I'm looking at the browse chart on Twitch. So top of the pops is Fortnite with 249k views. You then got the next closest one is for Battle Royale. Is COD. At 70,000 views. You've got Players Unknown at 53,000. And then the next Atlas at 14,000. I think that's got a Battle Royale in it. They're everywhere. But the good thing about it is it's not the top three. There's this wide spectrum. I mean, you've got Just Chat, League of Legends, Counter-Strike, Dota, which are usually the top ones. But we've got Super Smash Brothers up there at the moment, And I know you get these big spikes of new games and so on and so forth, but it's not just, the market isn't just dominated by the same dog shit gameplay all the time.
Yeah. I think Dan as well is hit it on the head, and I was just about to say exactly what he's put in there, that Smash Brothers is up there because it's an esport. Overwatch is, once it is officially put in as an esport, and a higher tier league, it'd be up there consistently, just like League of Legends. But he was saying that internet personalities or influencers, when they get to a certain fame and they are able to set trends, that they think they're gods and they think that everybody follows them and it's all about them setting trends and things like that, which I think there's a lot of people out there that do, but there is a lot of humble people that are, I would say, are up and coming, that are going to knock people like Ninja and people like that off of top spot.
Like Pigeon Vision.
Who, like us, who will knock
people...
Don't
laugh, Benjamin.
Who will knock people off of top spot. And knocking people off of top spot, it's not a case of sitting here going, we set influences, we do this, we do that. It's a case of, we are here for anybody and everybody with a spectrum of things. And there are a lot of streamers out there that do it across Mixer, across Twitch, across, anywhere. And the Hype Zone has so many people in there that do it already. And Smee is one of the biggest that I've watched that I would say is now a Twitch partner, and he is the most humble chap that I think I've ever seen that is a partner on Twitch.
Who's that? Smee.
Smee.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's a nice guy.
Just a plug, he's actually online now, ladies and gents. What I will do is, if I can get the rights to do it, I will drop it into the Twitch channel. It might say no, but I'm going to drop it in there anyway.
No,
Yeah.
there you go.
Okay.
Oh, it hasn't told him off. I wish it was.
So
It would have been
that's me. He is the leader of
Kick him out.
Hype Zone, and he's
Let's
an
get rid of
absolute
him.
dude, and will support whoever. Now, I do like the conversation that we're in now. However, I think this is a whole podcast on itself where you could narrow in on like goods and bads. But the problem you've got here is it's a lot personality driven by all of us.
Massively.
So these guys good, this guy's bad. Oh, I actually really like him because he gave to charity, but he's a knob on screen. These are the kind of things that we can't deal with.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it also does boil down to the fact that people have different. People have different interests in games. Like massively interesting games. Like, for example, one of my favorite games was actually Nier Automata, which a lot of people don't like because of how repetitive it is.
Yeah,
but it was a fantastic game.
Oh, that's why I like Monster Hunter. It may be repetitive, but it is fantastic for what it offers someone like myself with being able to custom build and things like that. Anyway, okay.
Exactly,
other bits of news and things as we've got to keep moving.
Something that's going to make Benjamin happy.
Yep.
Heroes of the Storm is not being shut down. What's happening is they are no longer running tournaments for it. There were 2 tournaments that have been dropped by Battle.net into this year because there is nobody actually in charge of Heroes of the Storm. It is kind of like one of those projects on the side. Nobody's even looking after it. So, yeah. It's not going anywhere.
Ooh.
Yes. That is good. And I tell you what else is really good that makes me real happy is John Wick 3 is out this year.
Yes.
May 16th for another
Looks
ass-kicking
insane.
session.
How much is the bounty he's got on his head? 118 million or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Dan's just said as well, he said he likes Kingdom Hearts, but he can see why people don't like it. I like Kingdom Hearts, and I completely agree with the fact that I can see why so many people do not like the game. But it is a game that I personally do like. Do you want to take this one, Jordan?
The Division 2's private beta has a start date, everyone.
Ooh, yes.
And it comes a week before Valentine's Day, so you can get your fix before the woman.
The first company that's ever been thoughtful around Valentine's Day.
I know, isn't it just like, come on, every girl's got their dream, and for once, a man has his needs before. So yes, February the 7th until February the 10th, Ubisoft says that players can access the beta by pre-ordering the game at participating retailers. The publisher also clarifies that players who register... Martin's got rid of the thingamabob.
Sorry.
Players who register at thedivisiongame.com/beta will be invited to join as space allows.
Oh, you don't need to make it.
So,
Lydia's making cups of tea. Does anyone want one?
yes, please. 2 sugars and really strong. Yes, like a builder's brew.
Basically,
You ain't
Ben, do you want to just put in the chat quickly that the divisiongame.com/beta is where people would go to be able to sign up to the beta, which is running from the 7th of February to the 10th of February, so that at least people that are watching, they're able to pick up the beta and things like that as well.
Okay.
Brilliant. Yeah, carry on. Bye.
Cool.
I'm a
Ozzy,
big fan of the Division. Huge fan.
Yeah. I was a huge fan of the Division. I played through it with my friend James at university, but when we got to the Dark Zone, there were so many glitches with it because we bought it on release date and we got there on the same day.
I've not played it.
Have you not?
I've not played
I
it.
think it's something that the Pigeons need to get involved with.
You are missing out on the Division, man.
For sure.
So maybe
Last time I logged in, I got
Yeah, Dan,
Legendary
you are
Tommy gun.
correct. There
Hey.
are so many big games coming out. So many big games.
Maybe a
So
couple
many
hours
came out
in
last
our
year.
charity stream, I'll play.
Oh yeah,
The
we'll be
Division.
doing some big games and
Yeah.
stuff whilst we're doing charity stream and things like that.
Yeah.
Ozzy, do you have any news or anything you want to touch upon?
Touch upon, not yourself, please.
There's something I've just found which will be interesting. I think
Is that your
everyone
penis?
to hear. No.
Keep it clean.
But there's also something about Anthem that I saw.
Oh, more Anthem
Yeah.
news.
Careful, Ben. You will hurt yourself if you're not careful.
I can see him
literally
punching
got
his child in a minute. Hadouken.
Okay.
Anthem will
Celebrate,
not
like,
be running
not
at
like-
1080 and 60 frames a second.
Ooh, okay.
Not.
No, it will not be running at that.
In what?
Is
Because
there-
they've prioritized visuals first rather than
Oh.
frame.
Oh,
Frame rate is something they're going to look at after. So does that mean what, like 920 and 40 frames a second, 30 frames a second? I don't know.
I think they'll cap it to 30 frames per second.
They'll probably do the same as what they did for Fallout 4. They'll have a play around with stuff until they Fallout 4,
Yeah.
Fallout 76. So they can play around with stuff until they realize where their performance is at, because it's like everybody's been complaining since the game came out. Stashes were restricted to a size, and you could only carry so much. But they can't make it unlimited until they realize what their frame cap is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
agreed.
Yeah. See,
That
what's
game's-
what's
It's a
weird is the
complex
fact
thing.
that this isn't EA's influence of going, okay, do this. I could imagine EA turning around
Ozzy,
going,
green light.
1080, 60 frames per second. Yeah, you need to do that.
Green
And
light.
they've just gone, nah. Let's not do that. Do you see that this company, as we're talking about Anthem, moving from Anthem, do you see this company, and I can't remember who it is that's making Anthem. Who is it, Ben?
Bifrost.
No.
No,
Yeah.
the company.
It's
Yeah,
Bifrost.
it's EA by BioWare.
BioWare, that's it.
BioWare.
Sorry, BioWare.
So,
Biofrost are the ones that did the Battlefield series.
Correct. Did they not
So-
do
Nope.
Bioshock as well?
I'm
Anyway,
gonna
we digress.
no, that's the engine, not
Oh,
the
yeah.
developer. But do you think that they will have a more of a say in the game if it was to be able to be more visually beautiful and more striking for the audience, and
2K,
EA
by
would
the way, Dan.
leave them to be able to get on with it? Do you think that EA would pass up the opportunity, the same as what Activision has with Bungie, and let them get out of their contract to be able to go their own way? Do you see that happening if Anthem was to be able to get bigger?
Whoa.
I think they would actually need the help of EA if it got bigger.
Yeah,
Not gonna lie.
EA have got a lot of money. But that's
I know
they've
they're
got
money
a lot of
hungry.
money. A lot of money. They've got a lot of clout. Ooh, blue. And they've got experience. Okay, let's
Not
think
only-
about
not only
EA,
that,
what
I
other
think-
EA games have played as well. They've got pretty much every sport game out there was
Yeah.
EA.
EA haven't got a game like this, have they?
No,
And
they
if
haven't.
they-
But that's why they've gone to Bifrost.
No, they haven't. BioWare.
BioWare.
Yeah.
BioWare.
So
They have got games like this. They have made games like this. And
yeah,
I played the alpha, and I literally cannot begin to tell you how mesmerized I was with this game. In alpha, Thomas will back me up here. Graphically, it was stunning.
It was
better
very
than Red
good.
Dead.
Yes, actually.
Well, without a shadow of a doubt. And this was alpha.
Shit.
See, but then
I mean,
BioWare are, in my eyes, a good company anyway, especially with
Yep.
doing
the company.
the games that they've done before. It was questionable for me at the fact that why they decided to go with EA. Is it due to programming that they've decided to go to EA because of how vast the game is? Because they've never had an issue with storytelling before or gameplay.
No. BioWare are the guys behind Mass Effect series, Dragon Age. They're behind Star Wars: The Old Republic. I mean, they've got some names behind them.
Yeah, massive names. So
Yeah.
why is it that they've decided to go more EA way with having EA publishing this game instead of keeping EA as a down low and them as main for this game. And
I
the
have
only
one theory behind it.
yeah.
And the biggest theory is, like what Oz said about the fact that they're limiting what they can do. That's not running at 1080 at 60 frames. They're restricting it. I think it's down to the fact that BioWare wanted to have enough money to make an engine that would throw like the Unreal Engine under the bus. I honestly think they needed the money to make something that was absolutely jaw-droppingly fantastic to put their mark on it, and they didn't have the funds behind it themselves to do it, especially with the last Mass Effect Andromeda, which a lot of people really didn't like.
Yeah.
So I think they needed something to back them up to make things better.
But the thing is, yes, they done that, and it was the Mass Effect that was kind of a flop for them. But then still, that was an EA publication, and EA had a lot to do with story base in that. So do you think that they've turned around and said to EA in this, you focus on what you do best, and that is just programming, and we focus on what we do best, which is storytelling and visualization? Because if you and Ben's played the alpha and it is that stunning, it's got to be them that have had most of the influence when it comes to visuals. And surely the story behind it and the gameplay behind it is going to be mainly them. And EA is only going to be daddy giving the money to them, going, here you go. And when you need help with servers and you need help with that, we can do that, because EA is really, really good at being able to do that. Even though they're money grabbers, and they are very good at being able to do servers and being able to partner games and things as well. So I can understand from a point of view that they would use them for that. And like I said, if it is all to do with visuals that are really, really stunning, I don't think EA's got anything to do with that.
No.
Okay, so I just thinking about it. So if you're going to go from they are a great company development wise, but however their last hits were Mass Effect. Now the Andromeda one didn't go as well as it should have. No. However, let's put it into perspective. I'm a little company. I go into a big company who's got a lot of money, and we've got a vision. They might have gone, fantastic, your vision is amazing, but you just don't have the clout, the social media, you don't have the marketing, you don't have the money to play in for servers and so on and so forth. But also, it's the added extras, like some of the voice actors. So they've got Nick E. Tarbraid, who's playing Hollock as one of the main characters in the thing. He's done series like Spartacus on Sky One. You know, he's been in many a film, and he's a fantastic actor. You wouldn't have been able to get him on the budget that they were on. You wouldn't have been able to get half of the other people that are on it and do what they needed to do. You know, and the way that games are progressing nowadays, you think about every one of those javelins that has moved, or one of those persons that has moved, is in a spandex suit with little balls padded all over them, that are getting shot by different cameras, that are costing probably £10,000 an hour to run, so that they can make these games run as good as they go. You know, all the facials. Going back to the alpha, I cannot begin to tell you how detailed everything was.
Yeah.
And I mean it. It was unreal. Thomas and I spent a good 20 minutes just walking around the marketplace.
The market was fantastic.
You couldn't do shit. You couldn't interact with very much. But like going up to people, and as you were going up to someone, if they didn't know you, they would look at you funny. They had a facial interaction.
They would back off, and they'd try not to let it do you.
No,
I mean, to put it into perspective, right? So the net worth of BioWare is approximately 860 million. Yeah. The net worth of EA Games is 8.5 billion.
Boom.
There is a huge difference in what the companies are worth and what they can actually do. So I think this does bubble down to money.
Yeah. Well, you've got Housey Boy that said he's not a big fan of EA. I agree, because they've taken so much more out of experience and focused mainly on server-based and money. And he's gone on to saying about Naughty Dog, and which was something I was actually going to be touching on, about The Last of Us. And I don't know if any of you guys have seen The Last of Us 2 and seen a trailer for it. it's gameplay as well,
yeah.
which is insanely real.
Literally, like me and you were gobsmacked, weren't we? Like genuinely jaws on the floor, kind of stuff. It was it was just a thing of beauty. Like I've not seen gaming like it ever in my entire life.
I can see Ben tickling something in this window.
It's his dog.
Yeah.
He's also turned around and said that, you know, they got the likes of Ellen Page and Troy Barker. I'm not sure whether they got Nolan North. I know that obviously Destiny had Nolan North after Peter Dinklage from Game of Thrones. Because they went through the whole game to replace him as the ghost in the first one with Nolan North.
Yeah.
And Nolan North's now replaced what was it, Cade in the Forsaken 2 series.
Yeah, Cade 6.
And he went on to be able to Dinglebot. He went on to replace him. So the Naughty Dog isn't necessarily a huge company, but they managed to rope in big names and release big titles. I think the difference is with what these guys are saying here and what is actually a reality is EA want to be able to release these games and BioWare want to be able to release these games on a regular basis, whereas Naughty Dog are very much, we have this game, and there's 3 years between being able to release this game and release this game. So they don't have the resources, money, and funding that is necessary.
They're like an early days Rockstar, aren't they?
But not only that, but it's very much Last of Us isn't a online based game, so the programming that's needed is very minimal when it comes to that.
Yeah. So that's why they can work on the added extras.
Yeah, so EA has to have all of those things within the games that they have. So I think that's the reason that they've gone with EA, yes, because of money, and massively because of online stuff and everything else as well.
So going back to what you were saying about graphics and, you know, how stunning it was, because we're on the Anthem train and I am a huge Anthem advocate, there is the cut sequence that everyone's seen. They've seen all the YouTube videos of the trailers and so on and so forth. The moment you get into your Javelin, you then go for a little walk scene. You then walk to a platform where you see your mate, how you doing, you know, and they do the initial jump off. That transition from the jump off, from stood there to jump off, is from video gameplay to physical gameplay, and there it's seamless.
Yeah,
there's no jutter. There's no oh my god, it's real. It just jumps off.
You literally can't tell the difference, can you?
This game for me, hopefully, is not going to be a disappointment. But if they do it right, this is a game that they can continue to get revenue from. They can build on it. You know, they've made the is it Ethereal Storm, Thomas?
What? Sorry.
The storm in the actual thing, the Void Storm or whatever it is.
Yeah.
The world reshapes because of a storm. You just basically give yourself carte blanche to write checks for more and more and more DLCs by going, I can make this. We're going to change this world, and because we change this world, we'll bring more characters in. You know.
Yeah.
I like the fact that it's only cosmetics as well. You can only buy cosmetics. You cannot buy weapons.
Yeah, I think.
I mean, that's the same with Destiny, though, mind.
With what Dan's turning around and saying now is, if you've got a game that's online, and you're being able to play with people or against people, it can be like World of Warcraft. It can be a little bit less graphical, more gameplay, or more player-based kind of thing. Whereas if it is a storyline, like Last of Us, it has to be massively perfect. If a story-based game without online play, like Red Dead Redemption, and this is the reason why I rate it so highly, but it does all the right things for a gameplay game, and it has to be perfect. And loads of people underrate such story-driven games nowadays because they are always looking for when's it going online? When am I going to be able to play with my friends? When am I going to be able to kill my friends? When am I going to be able to do this? Whereas there's a lot of old school gamers that want to go, actually, I want a game that I can play offline by myself, or whatever. I don't need an online game. So there is two ends of the spectrum now, and Anthem seems to be aesthetically pleasing. I'm hoping there is a good story behind it as well, and it does everything that you want for the left hand. And then you've got other games like Dan was saying, and like we know, there's so many games that are coming out in the next, like, what's this, 30 days? 30 days. I think there's like 6 titles coming out.
Well, I've got that lined up.
I mean,
which is ridiculous.
Going back to one of the things about The Last of Us and them having those 2 really good actors and everything like that. The biggest thing about The Last of Us was the fact that their publisher was Sony.
Yeah.
And think about how big Sony is as a company. Like, if they're the ones that publish it, it's the same again as going back to BioWare with EA. Without having a really, really big company backing you up, you're going to struggle regardless. And I'm not one to try and like poke the fire or try to annoy someone about a game that they absolutely love, because I played The Last of Us and I fell in love with it. I think the game was fantastic. It was really, really well done. But whenever you start looking into stuff, you start realizing, you go, right, okay, so Naughty Dog were the ones that led it. It was made in secret. Yeah, happy days. However, they then went to Sony and went, essentially, we need your help publishing this game. We need your help making this game what it is and what everybody can find. Hence why it became a PlayStation exclusive game.
Yeah, there's a lot of games, like Little Big Planet, when Media Molecule formed, there was 4 guys that came from Liongate Studios. They were all programmers, none of them were artists, and they went straight to Sony with their idea of a game. And that's why Little Big Planet became such an exclusive game just for them, because they put the money into it. Yeah. So I know what you mean. And I'm
not trying to annoy anybody, of course.
No. But that's the thing. Has it? You know, and this is the full circle where Bungie's pulled away from Activision, because Activision have the money and such a big influence. EA have such a big influence. Square Enix have such a big influence. Ubisoft have such a big influence. And then you've got Sony that have such a big influence, as well as Microsoft as well. You know, you will not really see many games that are big or in the top 5 best games of the year unless they are published by a company that has the money, because it takes so long for people to get hold of the game. And by the time they get hold of the game, these indie games that they've sold over the year, you know, they would have sold over the whole entire year and been like, oh, actually, we sold this many copies, which if we sold all of those in the first week, which a lot of these big games do, they would have been right up there in the top of the charts, or well known, or probably made more revenue for how big they were.
Yeah.
So it is all to do with, if you want your game noticed, it's all to do with money. And that's why is it the best thing for Bungie to have come away from Activision? Because are they a big enough name for people to go, yes, we know them, and people who are not gamers to go, yes, we know them, and do they have the money and the resources to be able to back themselves up for their next title?
I think with them splitting from Activision, I think that is probably the most intelligent move they've ever made, because they will be forever known as they were the company that left Activision. They were the company that went out on their own and took these games with them, or had these games behind them, because they're a prolific game maker and they make games. As Aussies, you know, Halo, what a game! You know, the whole Halo series was brilliant. Even what was it, PTSD or the police one, that was even pretty good. But
I think a lot of it also boils down to the fact that people don't know publishers; they more know games, and they go, "I played that. The next one's going to be fantastic," and then they play it and they go, "Oh, okay, that was a bit crap." But they don't know about the development side of it. So when you start looking into games and you go, like the different Halo franchises, and as you start playing through them, they go, yes, and all of a sudden it goes, fuck, what happened?
Such dick.
Yeah, well, so this is like what Housey Boy was saying, is you'll get so many people that play the first and second game, you know, absolutely love it, and then they get to the third game and they'll be like, what? And it's usually because they know they put their heart and soul into the first, they've then refined and done their mistakes for the second, and the third they're just releasing for the money.
Okay, so
I think
just to throw a little, I've got to go because very. So I'm just going to throw this little tidbit out there. So obviously, money and publicizing and advertisement is a major, major thing.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy Remake 7. How long that has been out there? How long that has anticipated that to be released?
The delays have been on it for like 2 years now. So.
Yeah. So now we get to that point of you've gone with a company that's got so much money. Square Enix, they've got loads of money. You know, the Japanese game they make is unreal. But now we're almost in that quandary of we're waiting for these games. We're waiting for the next, as Martin was saying, the next 3, 4, 5 games. You know, they were all great. And there's so much anticipation now. Unless this game is absolutely like god level fantastic, it could ruin the company.
I think 7 is a very special case. They came out saying they wasn't going to remake it. They didn't have the time. Then they came out showing a bit of what they were going to do and how they're going to remake it. Personally and honestly, the hype about it is to get more and more people interested. It's delayed until next gen, without a doubt. You know, it's not even complete yet. And the reason I know it's not complete is because I sent off a application to be a level designer there 4 months ago for Final Fantasy VII specifically, and they are nowhere near finished.
Yeah, of course.
And the reason they're nowhere near finished is because it is, like you said, marketing and getting the name out there and everything else is the biggest thing. It is one of the biggest things, and that is exactly what they're doing. They're keeping everybody on their seat because, once again, we're all talking about where is Final Fantasy VII. We're not getting sick of waiting for it. We're still talking about waiting for it. And
You're still fucking waiting for it.
but that's the point. We're still talking about it, and that's exactly what they want because they pay for the marketing.
Keeps it relevant.
Yes.
Yeah, it keeps it relevant. And
Yeah, I've got
the thing is that
fellows, I'm going to have to go. It's been an absolute pleasure. Be calling me away every once in a while. It's been a blast. There are rest of the topics. Anthem, as I said, go for it. And once these guys will go back to it later on, Game Blast. Game Blast will be getting absolutely hammered. If Martin and Jordan will do me the pleasure of jamming my Twitter page in the links, that you'll be able to see everything that I'm going to be posting out about it.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to break the call in a second by dropping off. So what I might have to do is just mute everything and cover the camera up just for the minute so it doesn't destroy everything.
That'd be brilliant.
It's been a pleasure, gents, and I will definitely catch you all on the flip, and it will be back to normal running, and we will get this on the camera.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Oh, no.
Thank you.
Cheers, Ben.
No.
Cheers, dude.
See you later, guys. Thank you.
See you later, dude.
Bye.
Peace.
A Lego.
So, yeah, I think there is, like Howsy Boy said, it is a development hell for Final Fantasy VII just because of how big and everything it is.
I think it's going to be dangerous.
Final Fantasy 15 had the same issues back in 2009, and that's the reason they closed their servers and everything as well.
Mm-hmm. It's a good game, to be fair.
It is a fantastic game. I have the game. I've played the game. Just due to the basic subscription, and I don't play it often enough, it's very, very, very hard. But in the same breath, it's such a phenomenal game. It's something I would like to be able to play more often. And that's the whole point of Pigeon Vision, is the fact that, you know, we will have communities on different games and other bits and pieces that we can draw other streamers in, and we can draw other people in, we can draw other gamers in, and, you know, make a community on these kinds of games and things anyway. But
I don't have much to say about any of the Final Fantasy games because I've not played one of them.
I find it so difficult that somebody hasn't played or some Final Fantasy
Not played
games.
a single minute.
It's
So
not
there's
one of my interests.
So I'm
there's
not the
two
only
of us in
one.
the call that
Oh,
have played it,
for
and two of
fuck.
us that haven't. Good divide. Good divide.
It just doesn't look like something I'd like. I know.
Yeah.
See, for me, Final Fantasy is
it.
very story-driven, so
Yes.
it's something that it very much interests me.
Not my thing at all.
And I grew up with story-based games, so it wasn't about playing with my mate down the street. It was about him coming up and playing on the same console as me, or we used to play a game where, you know, did you ever play it when you was a kid? Oh, one life each. You die, it's my go. I die, it's your go.
Yeah.
And that's basically what story-based games were for us.
I did that with GTA.
Yeah.
I mean,
like Vice City
as
or
one of
San
the ones,
Andreas.
as one of the ones that are probably the younger part of the group here. I remember watching Ben playing Final Fantasy when I was a kid. Like, I would always watch him whenever he was playing it. I'd sit in his room and I'd watch him play it, and it's one of those things that became really interesting to see and how the game worked.
Yeah.
And then as I developed and became older, got my own consoles and stuff like that, it was one of those ones that I tried. And if you like story games, they are good. If you don't like story games, you're never going to play it.
No.
Yeah.
It's literally as long and short as that. If you do not like story games,
that's as true as it can get.
It's the same with like what Dan's just turned around and said. Never ask any Final Fantasy fan what game is best, because there are too many titles that you could turn around and go, oh, you know, I could sit here and say 7 was the best, but it was one of the firsts I played as a kid and one of the firsts that I went over so much. But then 8 is so good. 10 is so good. 13 was incredible. 15, you know, and then you've got so many indie little tiny games where, you know, you had the one on the PSP where you was actually playing as Zack from Final Fantasy 7, and it's just, there's so many that it, you know, you don't want to sit here and go, this is better than this is better than that, because, you know, Final Fantasy 15 was incredible.
I've got a question for you.
So, yeah.
What's the best Final Fantasy game you've ever played?
And that's, I just answered your question. So shut the hell up. But yeah, so moving on to the last section of the podcast and things. If you guys have got any news or anything that you guys wish to share or you wish to talk about, and this goes out to you guys watching as well, everybody on Facebook, everybody on YouTube, everybody on Mixer, which is very slow tonight. It's the first time I've seen it slow. And everybody on Twitch as well. Anybody out there that's got any gaming news or anything they want to share or anything they want to go over, you have a 10-minute window to be able to go over different bits and pieces before we get on to our final big topic.
I have a little thing to say. Ronda Rousey's in the new Mortal Kombat.
Voicing.
Thingy... Sasha... No.
I don't know.
Something Blade, I think.
I'm not necessarily 100% sure, but
no, she is a voice slash character in Sonya Blade. That's the one.
Sonya Blade. See, Dan knows all these things.
you saved my ass. So that is going to be pretty decent because obviously she does MMA, Mortal Kombat, or wrestling
WWE now.
Wrestling now, yeah. To me, she's more famous for MMA because that's where I know her from. That's what I watch is UFC.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be pretty decent to know a combat game other than, you know, WWE 2K19. She's gonna be in something a bit fucking cooler in my opinion. So the Mortal Kombat games are my shit. Like, I've played every single one. They are insane.
Right, Ozzy, do you have any games or anything you want to talk about? Or any news?
Not a game, but it is a games console.
Yeah.
Games console?
Yes. Now, it's something called... I only found this earlier. Something called Madbox.
Oh, I've heard about this.
Yeah, so it's a console not made by Microsoft, not made by Sony, not made by Nintendo.
Android.
It's made by some other company.
Like Hawaii.
Yeah,
Google.
Wowie take over the world.
Something I found earlier is just about this new console.
It was founded in 2018, so it's literally brand new.
Yeah.
See, I've heard of a new console being in the plug, but the only new console I heard of was Google.
The Google one, yeah.
Google doing a streaming console.
So it's Slightly Mad Studios. So the CEO of Slightly Mad Studios, Ian Bell, teased on Twitter, the Mad Box is coming. So maybe that's who is making it?
Possibly.
Well, that'd definitely be something to be able to look out for on the future podcasts, without a doubt.
Yeah, it says it would. He also revealed the new console will boast some of the most competitive specs on the market.
Is Conor McGregor?
Wait.
Yeah.
So he said, you want 4K, you want VR at 60 frames per second, You want a full engine for free to
Oh, yeah.
develop your games on it.
I've seen
have
it. I've seen this. Yeah, seen that tweet.
Mm.
Tom, is there anything news-wise that you want to share?
Yeah, I mean, same route as Ozzy here with the whole. It's more about the consoles and the actual games themselves.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of things recently about where the future of playing games is going, like the whole console side of things. And a lot of it bubbles down to the fact that the Nintendo Switch had such a huge impact on the gaming market because it's a portable console that you can hook up to your TV and it looks good. It plays really, really well for what it is. People are now wondering, are more companies going to be starting to do the same thing? They're wondering if Sony and Microsoft are going to start doing a version of a portable
Sony
console.
probably done it, haven't they?
Well, they tried to, didn't they? And I think
The PSP
Microsoft,
and the PS Vita.
yeah, but you couldn't really hook them up to TV in the same sense.
It's
you can
yeah,
with
it's
the-
a different kind of thing, that isn't it? I
Well,
thought
they tried anyway. They
I
kind
thought
yeah,
of the PSP as sort of like PlayStation's Game Boy.
yeah. I'll
That's
agree
how
on
I
that one.
thought of the PSP.
The thing is, this generation of console that's coming out next, so you've got literally a year, maybe a year and maybe 18 months to be able to wait before the new console is hyped up, released, and everything else. That is going to be the last physical
And that will
console.
be PlayStation. PlayStation will come out before Microsoft.
It's going to be the last physical console, regardless of whatever race and everything else you want to say of Microsoft, PlayStation, whatever. It's going to be the last physical console because so many games developers are now saying about online streaming. So you basically are going to have your own unit, your own console. People don't want to keep buying a console, upgrading, doing this, doing that. It's a shame because for me it's embedded in me as a gamer to buy a console, wait 5-10 years, new
Buy another
console, and you're upgrading in a retrospect free because you're buying a new console for 400 quid, instead of having to spend £400 over the next 3 or 4 years upgrading stuff and putting that graft in and putting that effort in and everything else, whereas you can buy a machine and go, okay, it's sorted, it's fine, it's done, it runs it, I know it's all safe, I know it's all of this. So many games companies have tipped off that it's actually going to be this way. It's going to go down to streaming games and everything else.
Cloud-based.
And Google is going to be one of the first that is going to do it because they're going to do it whilst everybody releases a physical game copy.
Yeah, and they'll do it right as well. Knowing Google and what Google do, Google's obviously Google for a reason. Like Google are top of the top. No, across the board.
Well, we touched on podcast last year about how many games developers they took. The head of Forza, after Microsoft bought out Forza, they took the head of Forza as their new director for their games development program.
And like, you look at that game, and you look at how beautiful that is as well.
Yeah,
you can only imagine what Google's going to be doing.
Well, we've had a couple of topics and things on Facebook that's come up. Let's go back a little bit. You've got this one.
Can we talk about the game Homescapes?
Homescapes?
Not heard of it.
Is Homescapes the only thing I can think of? Is it? There's a Blizzard game, but it's not called Homescapes, is it? It's RuneScape.
Oh,
RuneScape.
RuneScape is.
it's a little.
Is that the mobile game that they're on about?
Is Conor McGregor going to be in any
game,
I think they're on about a mobile game.
Sorry, what did you say, guys?
Homescapes is like a little Candy Crush puzzle thing on your phone.
Right.
That's what I mean. That's the only thing I can think of, really.
Yeah.
Released back in 2017.
Okay, so the other question was, is Conor McGregor going to be in any 2019 game?
Because obviously he had a feature in Black Ops 3.
He did.
He did have a feature in that when he had obviously just won the title off of Jose Aldo, so on and so forth. Obviously, UFC 3 came out in October, just gone. And I can't see the likelihood of EA publishing another UFC game this year. Because they did UFC.
Personally, I think more than what I think he's trying to direct at is... I don't think Conor McGregor will be in any game, physical-wise, as in the way he looks. Voice acting, he probably will.
You reckon?
If he's done a couple of spoofs in Call of Duty already, I would say that he would probably get called up for doing a bit of voice acting in nitty-gritty games. Yeah. And it's something that a lot of games need, that kind of persona as a bad guy. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if you see him coming out as a villain or on the villain's side, for example, for a voiceover.
Yeah. Then
favorite Assassin's Creed game, everybody?
Brotherhood, I'd have to say.
Which one did you say, Tom?
Black Flag from Aussie.
Brotherhood for me.
Brotherhood.
Yours is Black Flag.
Mine's Black Flag followed by Brotherhood.
Mine's Brotherhood followed by Black Flag.
So
I have it.
So there you are, Josh. It's either Black Flag or Brotherhood. Mine's Brotherhood because it was one of the first games I bought on PS3, and not only that, it was the first of the Assassin's Creed games to do online. And I thought I had so much fun playing online on Assassin's Creed when it first came out. And not only that, I blitzed the campaign as well.
Hey Boxel, how you doing, dude? So anything else you guys want to touch upon, or I'm going to quickly talk about Fortnite before we move on to our main topic.
Everyone's heads drop.
Everybody's like, why do you want to talk about Fortnite? The only reason I want to talk about Fortnite is because Fortnite have now got the new title in gaming history so far. Fortnite
shittest game ever.
Fortnite earned as a free game. Fortnite earned $2.4 billion last year.
How much is that in pounds?
Which means that they are the most annual revenue game in gaming history. So this basically means that Fortnite, as a free game, has broken record for the calendar year of being able to take in the most money. My question...
Season passes, or?
Sorry?
Do you think that might be down to the season passing they do, or?
Season passing, you've got all the microtransactions, you've got so many little things that they can be.
You can actually buy the game.
My question is...
No, I bought the actual game, yeah.
But my question is, do you see games going down, like we're seeing with Black Ops 4, with free trials and things like that? Do you see games offering longer free periods of trials, lower game price tags with more microtransactions, or being basically free and you pay to be able to get more out of the game? As in, let's for example say DC Universe Online was a free game, but you could pay for a subscription per month and you would unlock so much more stuff because it kind of rewards you. Do you see games going down this route of, let's give it to you for free, get you hooked and get you in on it, and then we will try and charge your pockets for it?
And then we'll just put stuff in your face and go, hey, look, you can have this if you spend money.
Yes.
That's essentially... See, I think a lot of things are going to go down to what like Origin and EA do, where they've got the Origin access and stuff. Where you pay for your year or pay for your months, and you get access to like 120 odd games. You don't ever have to buy the physical game. You don't have to go, I want to buy that game and spend 40 quid on one hit. You can go, I'll spend £20 for the year and I'll play it through the whole year. And just have a rolling subscription every year. Because that's what I do with Origin. I have the rolling subscription and I've got access to loads of games I wanted to play.
Yeah. And do you think that that's the way they're going to go about it now, to be able to say, if you subscribe to us, like Origin is doing, I know Ubisoft's starting to do similar stuff. Obviously, if Google released their console, as in their cloud-based console, you would probably have to pay a subscription to get access to titles, which means if you're having access to titles, especially anything that is like Minecraft, Fortnite, and things like that,
Yeah.
where you can have microtransactions into it. It is a perfect platform for kids or your younger generation to be able to get hooked upon a game, to be able to then spend money into it. Or not just younger people, but also, you know, an older generation and things as well, where they go, I actually really like this game, I'm going to put 50 quid into it because I didn't buy it for 50 quid. I'm going to put 50 quid into it by getting this, this and this. And then when it gets 6 months down the line, they're like, well, actually, I'm really enjoying it. I would have bought another game, but I'm going to play this. So I'll put another 50 quid into it. Is this kind of how they're going to start hooking people? Or, you know, how do you see games progressing now?
I think some of the worst things that people have done when it comes to games like that is like buying games and then turning around and doing other shit. Is like, for example, the Warhammer game Eternal Crusade. It was a game that you had to physically buy, and then before it even came out of development, they went, "We're going to make it free to play."
Yeah,
I think if you're going to have a game that you're eventually going to make free to play regardless, shouldn't put an asking price on it to begin with.
Yeah.
no, yeah, completely
massively
agree.
Martin, do you remember? I think
Do you
I said to you,
remember?
or could have said to my friend about DayZ.
Yes.
God.
That game's price in alpha was maximum price was, I think it was $22.99. The game is now 34 quid.
God, that game when it was £12.
The game went up in price just after release of into beta and 1.0.
But the thing is, if
It's
a
gone
game is
up
in
in a lot.
alpha or beta and they ask, let's say, £10 for a
good
base mark,
point.
if they ask £10 for it as a base mark and then it goes up due to popularity, due to whatever, that's fine. I think I would be more disappointed if I was in Tom's shoes, where we paid 30 quid for a game and then on release it's only a tenner, because I would be looking at the company and going, well, where's my money? Where's my money? You know, I could have waited and bought this. You know, me being loyal to you and buying it before it's even released and pre-ordering, and you know, I want something. And it was the same I didn't do it with Red Dead in pre-order because it gave me so much stuff for GTA 5, and I don't want to play GTA 5. I want to play Red Dead Redemption.
Yes.
So
GTA 5 was good like 5 years ago.
well, it's still good. It's still
good,
good.
yeah,
It's
but-
just if I'm buying Red Dead, I want to play Red Dead.
Dead.
I don't want to be rewarded for a different game. I want to be rewarded for the game I'm already
Yeah, but
playing.
what I'm trying to say is GTA 5 was in its peak like 3 to 5 years ago. Now you're buying this brand new game that you're going to be spending hours and hours of playing. What's the point in getting that reward for GTA? Because you're not going to... there's a very slim chance you're going to go back to it. You know?
Yeah, so I hope that answers your kind of point, Ozzy, at the fact that if it's lower at alpha and beta and then it is higher, you know, you've kind of got yourself a bargain. But then if it's the opposite way around, like Tom's saying, I would then be very, very cautious about pre-ordering a game through that same company or anything again.
I mean, the thing that they turned around to make it all good was, like, I think it was like me and about 5 of my friends all pre-ordered this game because we were really, really looking forward to it. It was a shoot 'em up game, teams with all the 40k lore, and then all of a sudden it was like, yeah, we're going to make it free to play. And then to top it all off, to put the icing on the cake, when they made it free to play, they turned around and gave everybody who pre-ordered the game and put money into it here, invite your friend to play this free game with a full version of the game, even though it's free.
Yeah. Well,
so they gave you a key code to give to someone to get the game, but it was already free.
Yeah. Well, like Boxall's just touched upon Anthem doing a free demo giveaway. We did talk about Anthem earlier about them being in bed with EA, but you can kind of see that BioWare are doing their own thing, and they just have EA as the marketing guy and the programming side of the server. But it does spin the question, because you know you and Ben have played the alpha, Tom. It does spin the question that if they're putting out free demos and they're putting out free access and free this and free that, is this a good way of them getting people hooked into it by going, do this, and then when you get into the game they go, microtransactions are here, you could buy this, you could buy that
Yeah.
as extra stuff. Get yourself a new ship, get yourself a new skin for your bot, get yourself this, get yourself that. You know, it's only £4, it's only £10, it's only £20. You know, it's a bit harder when you have to pay full price for a game because it's hard to justify it yourself. But
I think this is where like Fortnite have done it well, is the fact that I don't want to give any praise to that company because of the bullshit that I've been through with them. But you don't gain anything from spending money on that game.
no.
You
You gain
do not
visual aspects.
You can't
Yeah.
you can't pay for skill.
No, that's the thing. And I think that's where, like, I did mention this earlier when Ben was going off on a rant. Battlefront was the worst for it because you bought the game and the game cost 45, 50 quid. Then to actually get access to half the maps, you had to buy the season pass. It was another 50 quid on top of that. So you already spent 100 quid on this game.
Yeah.
And then to put the icing on the cake for that is, of course, you get the card packs when you leveled up that allowed you to have different abilities and shit.
Yeah.
They then made it that if you wanted to, you could buy card packs and elite perks to use in-game against other people for stupid amounts of money.
Yeah.
For FIFA. But if you're gonna go to that extent that you want to make it that people have to spend money with you so they are better at the game, you have done something wrong.
Yeah.
You should praise them for the hard work they've done. Give them the option to buy skins and cosmetics, and that's it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Okay, so let's move on to our final big topic. And our final big topic is I want to be able to close out with what we think individually and maybe as a collective and maybe everybody else that's watching and things as well. What we think is the best game of 2018. It's kind of difficult because there are a lot of games that are there, and what is difficult about being able to choose a game that is the best for a previous year is you usually only remember the ones that have been coming out the last 3-4 months. So it is a difficult question, and I understand that it's a difficult question to a lot of people. But if anybody wants to be able to get involved and maybe go down like a top 3 of what they would say is 3 of the best games that they can think of through the year, and then try and kind of put them in some like chronological order. That would probably be really good. And then what we can do afterwards is touch upon games that are coming out in 2019.
Yep.
Sort
of round off.
So
round off the tail end of last year where we missed out, and also kick up
future prospects for this year.
Kick up the arse for this year, yeah.
So,
Ozzy, top 3.
So I'm just having a look.
Same here.
Yeah.
Personally, I have a 3.
I have at least one.
Well, I have a top 3. I've got notable worthy mentions as well of what I would say would be up there for me. But yeah, I basically have a top 3, and mine
I know
would.
what one of them is.
Pardon?
I think I know what one of them is.
Probably. What's Boxel said? Also, this is probably not the time to bring it up, but sorry, just randomly leaving out nowhere a few months ago.
Same, we've been gone for a little while now as well. So
yeah,
sorry if you came to watch us and we weren't around.
But yeah, I've been watching a couple of your streams and everything, Boxel, so keep it up, dude. Keep it up. Personally, for me, I think Forza has to be a good mention. It's been the best driving game of the year for me. I don't think any driving game out there has come close to it.
Is it only driving game?
Well, the Crew 2 came out.
We thought the Crew 2, when that came out, we thought that was fucking epic.
I thought it was pretty damn good, especially doing coast-to-coast runs and stuff like that.
I thought it was very, very hard to beat. And then we anticipated Forza. Forza came out. We looked at the trailer and went, it's based in England. this already kicks ass.
Yeah. It was visually stunning.
Yeah.
And I really, really enjoyed it. So for me, Forza is a big one that is up there.
Yeah.
I must admit, like a worthy mention, just because I played it recently. I'm really enjoying Call of Duty Black Ops 4. I didn't think I would because of the aspect of the Battle Royale, because I'm kind of going Fortnite kind of style. But it's more tactical than what I've seen Fortnite. It's no stupid fucking building. It's none of this stupid stuff.
First person as well.
It's very much, you have to do what I had to do as a kid of playing games and things like that. It kind of takes me back to Modern Warfare 2. The kind of gameplay, the kind of style.
Raw.
It's very much a get in there, get the job done.
Nitty gritty,
fuck about
dirty
building.
war.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. I've really enjoyed Civilization this year as well. I think my second choice has to be God of War, just due to the fact of how in-depth it was from the main story that's always gone down. It took a massive turn. It went a different direction to what it's done before, but it done it so well with being able to portray Kratos' father. He stepped back from that whole being that angry person, smashing everything.
Can I just interrupt quickly? Please don't say too much. I haven't played the game and I've not watched anything to do with it because I want to buy it and play it.
Yeah,
and
no,
I just haven't got around to it.
That's
yet.
absolutely fine. It's just you would have probably seen the fact that it's him and a kid.
Yeah.
Throughout it,
I know
and
that much of it. But
it's basically it's flipped from Kratos being this I want to kill, I want to smash, I want to do everything, to I'm dad, I'm teaching my son the way that the world is.
So he's gone away from being the actual Spartan he was.
Yeah, so he's basically going,
Could be interesting.
I'm passing the torch, and it's a very in-depth, very, very lovely game. And when I try and do things that I say that I like about games and things like that, I try not to give too much away, like with Call of Duty, and especially with like Forza. I'll just go through with bits and I like and everything else. A worthy mention that would be in my top 5 if I had it there would definitely be Detroit Become Human. Absolutely loved Heavy Rain series. I love games that are like this, especially where Square Enix doing what was it called?
You're asking me.
Strange something. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head now.
Stranger Thing? No. I know which one you're on about, I think.
Yeah. But basically, Detroit Become Human, for me, is a good mixture of what Black Mirror is, if you've ever seen that kind of TV series, where it takes a part of reality and stretches it a little bit beyond what it is and goes, this is the way the world would be if this technology was stretched, or this was to be stretched to that point. So for me, I would say Detroit Become Human would have been my 4th, so it is a worthy mention. And my very top game, I think Ozzy already knows it. I think Jordan already knows it.
I think I'd agree with you as well.
It's a game that I played and it actually made me cry, and I cried on stream where you lost your shit and was speechless whilst you watched back the footage the other day. Yeah. Red Dead Redemption 2. Without a doubt, I didn't play much of the online, so it's not the online aspect for me. It's the story. It's how in-depth it is. It's how much there is to do. It's all to do with, it's a game very much you can go, I'm going to go off and do something else, or I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to progress the story. There's so much you can do, and it gives you so much free roam, but not too much free roam that you get lost and you don't know what you're doing. You can kind of go, I'm going to this town, I'm going to do this. I'm going to this town. And if you find yourself lost of going, well, I don't know what else to kill and sell and whatever, you can get on with a story mission. You can help out the camp.
Yeah, there's always something close by to do.
Yeah. So for me, story-wise, graphically, emotional, there was so much about it that was
and then the
absolutely
ending,
fantastic
which
for me.
You and Ozzy found out about on stream.
Yeah, we did. I don't want to spoil the ending for anybody. So me and Ozzy did hit a bombshell, and Ozzy found out that it's not been talked about anywhere.
I lost my collective shit when you told me about that.
But yeah, it's not necessarily a spoiler of how the game is. It's just an observation.
Yeah.
And Ozzy kind of done a bit of research on the game of when Red Dead Redemption 2 happened, which was in 1899, and found that Red Dead Redemption 1 is in 1911. So Red Dead Redemption 2 is a prequel to the first Red Dead Redemption, not to be confused with Red Dead Revolver,
which is the first.
So yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2 is basically a prequel to the first game. So anybody who is planning on playing Red Dead Redemption 2 and says that they haven't played the first one, I would say play the second one because it leads you on to the first anyway. So you wouldn't have to worry about that. Personally,
I can't believe that when. Yeah, I'm speechless now.
Does anybody want to jump in with what they would say is their top 3 for the year?
I think mine is very similar. I'd go Red Dead is my favourite game for the year, massively. Forza, again, second favourite game for the year, just because it was beautiful, absolutely beautiful, and I could just turn the PC on at any given time and just fall into it and just play it and just have fun and do whatever. Same as Red Dead, you can literally be anywhere in the game and just go. And then I think my third favourite game it would probably be, and it's a controversial one because it hasn't had the best reviews, but I have had fun playing it. It's FIFA.
So FIFA 19 being your best game?
No. My third, it'd be the lowest out of the 3. Just because they've brought in a lot of new stuff this year and mixed it up a lot, and FIFA No Rules is really fun. Really, really fun.
By the way, Jordan's drunk.
I'm not drunk.
Considering FIFA 19 is the lowest rated FIFA in 6 years, I think.
Surprised me, it's the worst.
Yeah, but that's based on online.
But anyway, Boxall, if you haven't played any of those games so far and you don't have a top 3, your top 3 of the year, your top 3. This is a personal opinion. It's all about what you've played, what you enjoy. I haven't picked out certain titles that are in there because I haven't played them. But it's your top 3. So just come back to us with your top 3 games.
I probably would have picked something like God of War or NBA, but I haven't played them, so I can't pick them.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, no,
so
I think
I've kind of had to resort to FIFA, and I only played Black Ops for an hour last night.
Because you only played like 5 games this year.
Yes,
and FIFA happens to be the third best of the 5.
Yes.
Okay. Right.
Well, it's either right. This is literally my list: Forza, The Crew 2, Red Dead, Call of Duty, FIFA, and Overcooked.
Overcooked's such a good game.
Fuck off.
Such a good game.
It's such a melt of a game.
But it was such a good throwaway
I'd
game.
rather play Monopoly with my nan.
Oh, wow. Okay. Podcast is over and it's never going to resume ever again.
Dear.
Ozzy, Tom, top 3 games.
Ooh.
Well, for me, there's one that I haven't played, but it probably would be number 1.
Ooh.
Which is Red Dead.
Yeah.
I feel like I have played it just by watching Martin play it.
Thank you. I'm glad I've given you this experience.
I feel like I've played it. I've followed quite a lot of the story. Dutch always has a plan.
Dutch always has a plan.
Always has a plan.
Whether or not it's a good plan or not, that's the
Yeah.
question.
Wait, he's always saying he's always got a plan. Mike is always getting in trouble. Crazy.
I need to carry on playing Red Dead. To be fair, I played a lot of it, but not enough of it.
So I think Red Dead would be number one.
Yeah.
If I play it, like I actually should be able to play it quite soon. I think number two is probably same as you, Forza.
Yeah, we had so much
That
fun.
was really
playing
good fun. There's definitely some good laughs on that one. And I think number three is actually Farming Simulator.
Yeah, it's difficult because I've really enjoyed Farming Simulator.
I've enjoyed watching you weirdly, and it's such a weird fucking game to watch.
What's difficult is if I was to put Farming Simulator as my third best and bump everything up one, it would only be third best if Ben was on, Ozzy was on, and Tom was on, being able to play the game at the same time.
When you got it as a collective.
When you have that game as a collective, I lose so much of my mind where I'm just like, I could lose most of my life playing that game and live in the game with these people because it is so much fun.
And when you've got a team, like when I'm watching you guys do it, it's more fun than just watching you plough a field and mow a field and silage.
It's a difficult game to stream, but it's a fun game to play.
Yeah,
and as a collective, it's fun for both.
Yeah, massively. I completely agree with that.
So,
massively agree with that.
Very underrated opinion there, Ozzy, but I completely agree with what you're saying. Yeah. Boxall, if your brain is a bit frazzled, we're still here. Keep going. Keep thinking. Just chuck some stuff out in the chat. At least we can kind of go, yay, nay, maybe, you're crazy, or we didn't think of it. So yeah, Tom, top three if you have a top three.
So an unpopular opinion, straight off the bat. Third favourite's definitely got to be the Fallout 76. I know it had a lot of issues.
Oh,
what's
worse, FIFA or Fallout?
FIFA.
FIFA.
Do you want me to think about it for a minute?
Yes, but at least debate it.
FIFA.
How? Fallout
had a massive patch before it was released, but FIFA. Jeez.
Fallout is still
Fallout.
Fallout.
Whack.
To be fair, the reason why I'm putting it out there is because of the fact that as soon as I got the game, I sunk 2 full days into it, and not like 2 days where you sit like 7 hours playing a game. These are 2 14-hour days into the game when it first got released. And that's my problem when it comes to gaming. I will sit there and I will play absolute death out of it. And it was fun. It was interesting to play this game and play it with a friend. I think that's the thing. If I played it on my own, I wouldn't have enjoyed it. The fact that I played it with my friend made it a completely different game.
I think that was their main point of having it constantly online, is to, one, be more sociable, 2, play it with other people, because some of it is hard.
Oh, some of it's nearly impossible if you're on your own.
If you don't have other people, you're not going to get past that certain bit.
That's what I didn't like about Fallout, is it forced your left hand. It forced you to go down multiplayer route.
Yeah.
Whereas Fallout always for me was right hand. It was always story based.
It was always free.
And you go for it kind of thing.
You create your
So yeah, I like it. I like it, Tom. It's a nice opinion. It's a different opinion.
Yeah, it's one of those ones. Like I said earlier, everybody's got their favourites, and that, and so we're doing the lists.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
As far as the second game would go, I only picked it up the other week, but Just Cause 4. As far as the game goes,
that's
a good call.
That is a good call.
I love the Just. I prefer the Just Cause games more than the Far Cry games.
Oh yeah, for a game that's just for piss ass and about, it's fantastic.
Yeah,
you can't pick a better game. As far as my top game goes, actually for the Switch, Starlink. I think that's originating back to the fact of first console I ever got was my Nintendo 64, and one of the first games I had on it was Star Fox.
Yeah,
and it's just a nostalgia hit. It's so much like No Man's Sky, where you can go from planet to planet to planet to planet and attack stuff and do what you want, and it's just a cleaner version of it.
That's a solid list.
Well, it was a good game. The thing is,
I want to get a Nintendo Switch just because of that game and because of Zelda.
And because
Breath of the Wild's
Pokemon.
awesome.
Pokemon Let's Go, not necessarily. It means I still have to play Pokemon Go. And I kind of fell out of love with Pokemon Go at the fact that, I used to drive around town at like 2 a.m. with Beanie in the car whilst we hatching eggs, driving at 2 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Hatching eggs, and then he would have a tracker on and we would just zoom to one location where it was 2 and we'd catch the ones that we wanted.
Yeah.
Instead of actually going out and doing what the game wanted you to do by getting fit by walking.
Yes.
I didn't have time for that. I have a life, I have a job.
Anybody got time for that? I get this.
Boxall's come up with Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter would have been in my list because I absolutely love the game. But Monster Hunter was out last year on PlayStation.
2017.
Yeah, it was out on the year before on PlayStation. It came out. It came out in 2018 on PC.
Yes.
And I think it was a massive game and everything else. So
you
I
were really
agree
into
that it would have been as a 2017 game, my top game
Yeah.
without a doubt.
Yeah.
But because it was released on PC this year and it was my top game of 2017, it's something I couldn't use.
Mm-hmm.
But I completely think that if you're going PC, like you've just said, you're thinking PC release. If you're going completely PC, then yes, I would definitely be putting it right up there with anything release wise.
Lastly, we have gone a little bit over time, but scrap it. It's our first one back for a long time. 2019. What's it gonna produce for us? What's going on? What's everyone looking forward to? We've got a little release schedule here from Game Informer. Hopefully,
know what Ben's after.
Kingdom Hearts is gonna come out. Hopefully,
Well, it's supposed to be coming out on the 28th
of
this month.
it's 29th.
29th then. So, but it's coming out this month after being delayed for 4 months. Yes.
4 years.
So, Dan, if you're still here, I can't wait for it. It's not going to be a game I'm going to stream though. It's going to be a personal game.
Anthem is coming. We know. We've talked about it nearly all podcasts.
Boxall, as you wasn't here earlier, there was a link in the chat. I will
repost.
I don't. Is anybody on the channel that could copy Ben's link for the beta and post
Division.
it? Yeah,
That's
and
the
post
Division.
it back in for us for Boxall. There is basically a beta on the 7th to the
I'm gonna get shouted, I think.
14th.
To the 10th.
7th to the 10th of February
of
hang on.
Division.
I need
I would
to.
have tried, but I couldn't do it.
All right, hang on then.
Yeah. It's,
I was
I
gonna
think
say,
at the moment there is 2 games that I'm looking forward to, and that is definitely
There you go.
Anthem and Division. They're the 2 for me that are my benchmarks.
yeah,
But apart from that, I've got no idea what else is coming out this year.
yeah. We've seen that Division 2's been
Yeah.
given a release date of March, and there is a beta that's out on the 7th to the 10th of February for that one. So what's out in January that's worthy of a mention?
January, you've got the new Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe
Yeah,
Switch.
That looks amazing.
that's already out.
Yes.
I'd like to get that.
You've got The Walking Dead's out.
I think the big mention here is Resident Evil 2, 25th of January. Is a big one that I know a lot of people, friends-wise, is
5 days time.
is looking forward to. February,
Far Cry New Dawn, Anthem.
Crackdown 3.
Within a week.
Ooh, they're bringing Crackdown back.
Crackdown 3 is
yeah,
out
yeah.
on the 15th of February.
A personal one for me is the Monster Energy Supercross game, just because I love
The Metro?
Motocross.
Yeah,
Ooh,
Metro
Metro.
Exodus is coming out on the 15th as well, same as Far Cry.
The Lego Movie 2 game.
Lego Movie 2 has Chris Pratt in it.
I know.
It's going to be amazing. So the Lego Movie 2
Dirt
is out on the
Rally?
26th. Dirt Rally's out on the 26th.
Is that right?
Super
So
too?
another Codemasters game. going to be
Codemasters, it's proper old school, them, isn't they?
Codemasters are very, very good at being able to do a lot of games, especially with a lot of code. What was it? 6 Codemasters developers that went across to Forza.
Yeah.
To do Forza. Anthem out on the 22nd. It's not even in bold. They're not even
that bothered about it. But we are.
I'm going to be playing Anthem instead of Destiny. The game got boring for me. Okay, Boxel, I haven't really grinded Destiny as much as what you have, so I can understand that you're going to get bored of something. Next into March, my very first one within March is definitely the Total War series with the 3 Kingdoms. Loved the Total War series ever since Shogun Total War.
Then for me, the first one that sticks out is the Division 2, which is March 15th.
Yep.
I've not played them, like I said earlier on in the podcast, but I'm gonna make it my mission. Charity stream. I'm gonna play the first one and sink my teeth into it to hype me up for the second one, which will be like 2 weeks after the charity stream. So yes, that's
another big one in there as well. Dead or Alive 6, if that's the kind of games that you're into. But Devil May Cry 5 is also out in March. We're going to hear a lot more from this point on when it comes to E3 for the rest of the year.
E3 is end of May, isn't it? Or middle of May.
It's just before June.
Yes, end of May. So then you get into April. You're an arse.
But you had to repeat it. I was like, it's just before June. Yeah, end of May.
Yeah.
It's alright, mate.
You're a dick. So then you've got April, where you've got Mortal Kombat 11 and Days Gone.
Days Gone is, I reckon, is going to be a very underrated game.
Yes.
I reckon it's going to be a game that is fantastic.
We've looked into it, haven't we?
It's basically a zombie game, and it's crazy. It's crazy.
Well, is that like hordes and hordes and hordes of zombie game?
Yeah.
What was it?
Yeah, the one that they scrapped off the idea of giving it multiplayer.
Yes.
Which sucks, because that would have been a hilarious game multiplayer.
Oh my god!
But yeah, the problem with it is they did scrap it off, but there's talks of it coming back.
That'd be good, please.
And I don't know whether they're going to be releasing more information about it next month, of it being back in and everything else. May has Rage 2 and being released.
More in April, I think. Tom might be interested in it on the Switch.
What was this?
Oh, we haven't got that.
Two Final Fantasies actually coming out in April.
Yeah,
2?
Final Fantasy
DOS.
X, which I guess is 10.
Mm.
And then 10-2 HD Remaster.
That'd be the same game.
It's for the Switch. And then
so
it's 12.
The Switch is now getting another game added again. They had so many games added last year.
End of the year, wasn't it? They were just going, bang, we'll take
Warhammer.
that, bang, we'll make that, bang, we'll knock this out.
Warhammer 40,000 Death Watch.
Is this all to the Switch?
Yeah, Death Watch is for the Switch.
That could be interesting.
And then there's also so going on to May, is the Warhammer for PlayStation.
Ooh.
Oh, what is that? The
I'm not
40K
bothered about that.
Deathwing?
I'm bothered about
Adeptus
Team
Titanicus Dominus
Oh.
for PlayStation.
Team Sonic Racing.
Team Sonic Racing or Crash Team Racing?
Well, both of them, because I like racing games.
Crash Team Racing. Come
But
on.
Crash more than Team Sonic, but Team Sonic will sort of like team me up for.
I loved Tag Team Racing.
Oh, so there's some without confirmed.
Well,
dates.
these are all
Mario Kart.
these are all unconfirmed because E3 usually chucks it on there. There is an unconfirmed thing here, Tom. Final Fantasy 7. You've got 10 and 10-2 that's coming to the Switch. It's also coming to Xbox as well, Ozzy. 9's coming to the Switch and coming to Xbox One as well. And 7's coming to the Switch and Xbox One. So I'm guessing that that's all going to be store-based, that you can buy that.
Mine that they're pushing for the Switch.
Pardon?
Really nice to see they're pushing Switch.
Yeah, I like the fact that the Switch are getting so many games in there now.
So many good titles as well.
Yeah.
PS4 release and a Switch release. Just because I'm a geek and I used to grow up with Pokemon and crap. Digimon Survive. It'd be interesting. It'd be interesting to see whether they are able to create a Digimon game better than the very first game that they was able to do.
No. Unknown.
Star Wars: The Jedi Fallen Order is unknown on what platforms it's going to be on.
That'll be
Pokemon on Switch.
Yeah, Pokemon's on Switch. That's going to be very interesting whether that is going to be a game which they would release normally on Game Boys and things like that anyway, and whether it is just going to be a Switch release now. Other than that,
not a lot.
The only indie game that I'm picking out at the moment that I think is worthy of a note, and I don't know if it's its actual name or whether it's a project name, but it's called the Untitled Goose Game. And
I'm intrigued.
It is out for the Switch and for PC, and it's a little indie game. And I was reading about this the other day that you are, I would say, cross goat simulator and farming simulator, with the fact that you're a goose, you have a story to be able to portray, and you basically have to cause your owners and people havoc. So from what I've got from it so far, you basically are owned by somebody. You basically jailbreak out of there and have to escape. And then there is a big storyline about moving forward. And I like a lot of indie games. I played Ether 1, which I really enjoyed years ago. I played The Unfinished Swan, which I really liked as a indie game. And I played a lot of indie games. I do like a lot of little indie games and things like that.
One indie game that we said that we were going to sink our teeth into was Seas of Solitude, wasn't it?
Seas of Solitude should be out this year.
Yeah.
Which is a Ubisoft game, if I remember. But it's a decent little indie game. And I can't remember exactly when it was supposed to be out. Or was it out last year?
I think it was out December, wasn't it?
I'm not sure. I didn't keep up with anything in December at all.
I didn't keep up with anything since my birthday.
Oh, Anno 1800 is out on February 26th. That's going to be an interesting game, especially if you like civilization and building games.
I didn't say anything about it, so it must already be out. That's Days Gone, isn't it? Yeah.
So any other games that you guys can think of or you want to be able to mention? There's one game that's not on that list, which I thought was supposed to be out this year, and it's not even on the list there to be able to look at. The Last of Us 2.
I'm glad
it says on the games website, says out TBC 2019 for Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah, it was just the fact that looking through this list, it didn't come up with anything like that at all for me.
Pre-order it now, apparently.
But yeah, Last of Us 2. Any other games that you guys can think of that's not been mentioned?
The next Dead Island game.
Yeah,
Dead Cyberpunk.
Island 2.
Dead Island.
2047.
Oh, Cyberpunk as well, yeah.
Cyberpunk. Yeah. What did you say, Tom? The Island?
Dead Island.
Dead Island. Yeah, I see.
Dead Island 2, haven't they? Yeah.
Yeah, we read about that.
Cyberpunk.
As well.
I've looked into a lot, and because it just interests me. It looks insane.
It looks fantastic.
Yeah, graphically, visually beautiful, and the sort of story behind it just really entices me. Just to think that that's 20 odd years away, not even that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got like Gears 5, Dying Light 2, Doom Eternal.
Wait, they're bringing out another Dying Light.
That's interesting.
Dying Light 2.
Dropkick Simulator.
Doom Eternal. Bayonetta 3. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah.
Twin Mirror. Skull and Bones. Looks like some kind of pirate thing.
Talking about pirates, Sea of Thieves is definitely a thing that should happen.
Sea of Thieves. I've got a couple of other people that want to play Sea of Thieves with us and start making a community in that on there as well. And that's definitely a thing I want to be able to get going. I think between me, you, and Ben, Tom, is there are so many games like Ark, Anthem, Destiny, Sea of Thieves.
I love the Forest.
Yeah, the Forest looks nuts. I love it.
I think between us three, we've got so many games that we could just jump onto randomly now and again to be able to be like, we like this, we like that.
Like each day of the week, not each day of the week, but each week of the month, you should do a game. So like week 1, you should do like the Forest. Week 2, you should do Sea of Thieves, and then it gets like the next month, and you do again first week of the month.
Yeah. It could be a thing. Ozzy definitely would be on board with doing things like that as well.
We'll put it down to a vote. To be fair, with your followers, see what they think.
Yeah. No, definitely. There's a lot of people that I have following on Facebook and who watch on a regular basis who want Sea of Thieves. I've got people on YouTube that want to see a bit of Uncharted and a bit of story games like The Last of Us and things like that. A lot of people on Twitch want to see The Division and want to see Anthem. And then there's a few people on Mixer that just want to see everything.
Just want to see content.
Such a good crowd on Mixer. Yeah. I absolutely love Mixer. But yeah.
Brilliant.
So, all good. I think the only thing we need to plug is
Game Blast.
Game Blast, without a doubt. This is happening.
Yes.
So with Game Blast just around the corner, 22nd of February, you have Ozzy himself, you have Tom himself, this side. You've got Jordan as well that's going to be involved in this. Unfortunately, Ben's not going to be around for the event per se, but Ben is going to be doing a lot of plugging and a lot of answering your questions and everything on Twitter.
Not only that, he's done a lot of behind the scenes work already for the campaign for us. He sorted out massive giveaways so far, and obviously we're going to be adding to that within the next month. And then you got Martin as well, pretty much hosting the entire event.
I will be around for the entire 72 hours.
Pretty much, other than
if I'm not on the camera playing, I'm behind the camera sleeping.
And if he's not sleeping, he's cooking for us.
Cooking is being pre-done. So pasties are being made beforehand, lasagnas are being made beforehand. I'm doing live streams on all the food that we're making and everything.
To get fat and games.
I am off the week beforehand, so I'm off for the 7 days.
Mate.
So the first 5 days are live streaming during the day of all food and the event and going out places and everything else. So the channel is basically going to be on for a good 15 hours a day up until the live event, which will then go for 72.
Be a solid 72.
Yeah.
Fudge.
We are pulling in quite a few other people. I've got quite a few people that are interested in being able to come on board and help out with us when we are in the town centre of our local town.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of people that are interested in sitting and playing Ultimate Chicken Horse. We've got some VR games that we're going to be playing throughout the event. We're going to play some Fortnite. I love the fact you screw up your face now. We're going to play some Battle Royale games, especially when it comes to...
Do you know what? I need to try the Battlefield Battle Royale. I haven't tried it yet, and I haven't heard a lot about it either.
If EA decide to do a free trial, then we're definitely jump on that. Never. So basically, we have so many games that we're going to be playing over the time. There is going to be a fixed, kind of thing that quite a lot of us are going to do. So during the day, it'll probably be all of us or quite a few of us around our local area, and we will be meeting and greeting people. You'll be able to play against us, and if you win T-shirts. There will be giveaways as well. T-shirts. There's going to be other kind of merch and stuff with Pigeon Vision on, with Geek Labs UK on, with our local town on, with all of our other sponsors and things as well. Any of you guys that want to get involved and you just want to watch, if you want to lurk, if you want to help out with fundraising, send people to our Just Giving page and things as well. Boxel, if you're, I know that you might not be able to come and say hello and everything, but if you are there, we're happy to have you as a special guest. You're happy to appear in our stream in the corner.
Yeah, maybe
we can do a bit
if we
of chatting to you and stuff during one of our talk shows, during our D&D thing, if you want to be able to get involved. And bits and pieces. I know you said you wanted to be part of the flock ages ago, and you wanted to get up and running with streaming and things like that, and I'm so glad you got up and running with streaming. You know, we're always here to be able to plug you, help your channel. If you decide to do the event yourselves, we're happy to work with you as well. And that goes for anybody else that is watching on Mixer, YouTube, Facebook and Twitch as well.
Anyone that wants to help out a decent charity for a decent cause and have fun doing what we enjoy doing, which is gaming, you know? At the end of the day, we get to do something which is really fun for something which is really worthwhile. And, you know, what better concoction would you want than that?
Yeah.
Something that's really fun and with a really good outcome. It just makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Let's have fun. Let's do some gaming. Let's get in. Let's get involved. Let's rep for Game Blast.
Rep for Game Blast. Cool. Right. Anything that you want to add, Tom and Ozzy? Anything you wanna go through?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head.
Good.
No, I can't think of anything.
Even better.
Cool. So, thank you to everybody from coming on. We had quite a few people. John, especially for one of the people that are commenting a lot on Facebook. Boxel and Dan for coming on Twitch. You managed to get a 60 frame per second camera as well, so why not, Boxel? Definitely hit us up in the PMs and things as well, man. So
Boxel's on our Discord, isn't it?
Boxel is on our Discord as well.
Sweet.
So, you know, make sure you're jumping in there. We'll put a Game Blast section up there for you and everybody else to be able to collaborate in there and talk about things and giveaways especially. Thank you to everybody on Mixer, and thank you to a couple of people and everything on YouTube. Brilliant podcast of 2019.
First
done. Fist bump to Ozzy, fist bump to Tom,
and fist
wicked
bump to Ben, who was there.
Big shout out to Ben. We will put everything in this video on YouTube later on, and we will put all the links to our charity in there, how to donate, what you could do to help, our Discord, Ben's Twitter, PVE's Twitter, and all the other guys as well that are on Twitter and Instagram and other bits and pieces. So you can check out all of our content in loads of different locations as well. Make sure you are not only following us on all social medias and all platforms, Twitch, Mixer and everything else. Make sure you're following Geek Labs, as they are now part of PVE. Make sure you're following Ozzytron as well. All of these links will be in all of these channels somewhere as well eventually, so please make sure you're going across to their channel, following them, because we all game together now. So it's not just following the main Pigeon Vision hub, it's following everything else as well, us personally and us as a collective group of people.
Spot on.
Wicked. So thank you all very much, guys. So it's bye-bye from me,
and bye-bye from me,
and it's also bye-bye from our panelists as well tonight, which is Mr. Ozzytron himself.
Bye-bye.
And Mr. Tommy Nommy Noms.
Bye-bye, guys.
Take care, guys. Bye-bye for now, and we will see you all again next week.